Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 1988 comedy horror film Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. This stars Cassandra Peterson as Elvira, the Mistress of the Dark. A bunch of other people are in this. This is a prime 80s film. You got the random musical number at the end. You got the constant groping and sexualization of women throughout the film, which was very hard to watch in this present 2021 time. But watching Elvira have her first feature-length film, awesome. So Elvira is a character that Cassandra Peterson came up with, and she is a horror host. So she will watch B-rated, horror films and comment on them. Right now, we currently have Svengoolie is the current pop culture horror host, the crazy chicken-throwing man that he is. But Elvira in the 80s was the quintessential iconic horror host that we all know and love. She has been in 2 Scooby-Doo movies that I know of. Happy Halloween Scooby-Doo is actually one of them. We are going to watch and talk about that movie soon. And she does make a guest appearance in that film, as well as another cartoon Scooby-Doo. So Elvira's been in 2 cartoons. She's had her own TV shows. She had spin-off TV shows. She's had this movie. She had another movie, which she, I think, financed herself. And then she had like a 13-episode guest spot on Hulu, I think. But then, she pitched something to Netflix, and Netflix never picked it up. And then there's supposed to be a 3rd Elvira film, I think, in the works. But it might potentially be a cartoon. Elvira as a cartoon is becoming more popular than Elvira as the actual human. I don't know how, but that's just what I'm noticing on the interwebs. So this story revolves around Elvira. She's working at a local TV station doing these, reviews of these B movies as the character Elvira, and she is actually named Elvira. So she gets the telegram that her great aunt has passed away in Massachusetts, so she drives to Massachusetts. Of course, she sticks out because everybody else there is very conservative and everyone's white, except for one black guy who plays the saxophone. And then she's not intentionally causing chaos, but because she's, the way she is and the way she looks, she's causing chaos. So how dare the teenage boys look at her and all of these things. So she fixes her aunt's house up. She wants to try to sell it because she needs $50,000 to put a down payment, for the Hotel Flamingo in Las Vegas to start her Elvira Mistress of Dark show. So things happen. It turns out that she's actually from a long line of witches. And we go into sorcery and stuff, and her great uncle Vincent is a master and is trying to take the family's recipe book of spells. So there's a show-off at the end after the entire town tries to burn her at the stake. Very interesting. Very, very interesting that a very white conservative town in the late 1980s is burning a woman at the stake, and her dog, who is actually her familiar Gunk. But mishaps and slapstick humor. One of the spells goes wrong, so she makes this iguana-looking casserole thing pop out of a pot, which was pretty neat. From the puppetry and animatronic standpoint. That's what's great about late 80s, early 90s films, is that level of detail when it comes to props and animatronics. If this film was made now, completely changed on the sexualization of females. But that iguana casserole monster would be CGI, unfortunately. And that's what's cool about 80s and 90s films, is that you have that authentic grit when it comes to puppetry. 70s, 80s, 90s films, authentic grit when it comes to puppetry. This film's awesome. I love Cassandra. I love that she's still putting on that Elvira to keep it going. I think there was an Elvira meets Dolly Parton or something like that. I do want to look into that because I think that'd be absolutely hysterical to watch. But yeah, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Pretty awesome 80s film. I really hope Cassandra gets a 3rd film in the mix. I gotta find the 2nd film too. I don't remember the name of it. I got some research to do. Are you a fan of Elvira, the horror host goddess that she is amongst us mere mortals? She's awesome. She's always been awesome, and she'll still be awesome. Long, long, long time from now. That's all I got. Mucho mahalo.